Right then, this is a quick walk around video and it's a little bit windy today, so I'm hoping you can hear me okay. This is for a beautiful car. This is a Lexus IS300F Sport. It's the hybrid version. 63 plate car. This one benefits from having the better standard sat-nav, rear camera, and also the gorgeous rose red leather interior. This car has covered just 30,000 miles from new. Comes with a lovely service history, all of which, apart from the very last service which we've just done, has been done by Lexus, and I think there was 7 of their services, so it's been very, very well maintained. They are stunning cars, I have to say, absolutely stunning. Front of the car, menacing, looks fantastic with that grille, very, very clean and tidy. Bonnet, hardly a stone chip anywhere of any note on there at all. Coming down the near side, beautifully smooth in the panel work. Coming on the back of the car, the sun, which is lovely, is about to pop its head from behind the clouds, which isn't great for videos, so I do apologise. Coming around the car, again, all very, very clean and tidy. The odd tiny speck, you know, I'm talking sort of minuscule chip here or there. Offside of the vehicle, again, beautifully smooth. Externally, it is, you know, for a car of its age in particular, it's in absolutely stunning condition. Coming to the boot area, really clean and tidy. Load liner fitted, which is always a good sign of ownership. It's coming to the back of the car now. It's absolutely stunning interior. It looks gorgeous. It's in really lovely condition as well. Coming around to the front, again, very clean and tidy. Passenger seat, excellent condition. Finally, driver's door card, again, very, very clean. So we're inside the car now. Engine's running through sections, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated, as I always try and do. Lovely condition and a stunning interior. So sat-nav, you can see, working absolutely perfectly. Pop the car into reverse, get that lovely clear parking camera, all working exactly as it should. Heated and cooled seats, again, not standard, but it is a gorgeous interior. Coming across the dash binnacle, hopefully you can see 30,054 miles, and that's all there are on the car. It's amazing. When you're in eco and normal mode, that's the dash you get to see. If I twist it to the right, suddenly that's the dash you get with in sport mode. And then you've got this little button just here, which is the world's most satisfying button, because basically it does that. And it just, oh, it sounds so good. It really does. That's proper nerdy, but there we are. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video for a lovely car. This is a Lexus IS300F Sport, and obviously it's a hybrid version. This car is registered, I don't need to read it, YX63AEG, and with an extraordinary mileage, just 30,045 recorded. The reason for doing all of our videos is simply so that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they actually get to see the car we're advertising in operation. Like so many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine, only to get there and find out that there's an obvious fault, warning light or something on the dashboard, and you just don't want to travel all that way to find that out, basically. So hence that's why we do it. And we also do it on these lovely quiet country roads in this absolutely beautiful part of Gloucestershire where we are. And the reason for that, this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the reasoning is that we'd hopefully then be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, the ownership and history is absolutely superb on the car. it's immediately obvious as soon as you drive the car. It's as tight as a drum. It's absolutely superb, and I will immediately have to on occasion stick my hand up. I'm massively biased. I adore these cars. I've owned a few of them. They really are an exceptional car, because it's actually quite an interesting car in this day and age. But I will be upfront and straight with any issues there might be on the car, of which obviously we're not anticipating anything. Starting with the engine and hybrid system, Lexus cannily referred to them as self-charging hybrids. Basically, it's because people with electric cars or those that are reliant on the electrics, it's all about range anxiety, of course, and I've suffered from that in trying a couple of electric cars. Basically, you just drive this car as a normal petrol car. You put fuel in it, it runs low on fuel, you put more fuel in it, and that's it. No charging up, nothing at all. It regenerates the hybrid battery by every time you back off the throttle, press the foot pedal down, brake pedal down, it puts power back into the system. It's brilliant in the way it does it. The power delivery is utterly seamless. It's absolutely astonishing. It's a quick car. You put your foot down, it bolts along. It's rewarding. But what's amazing about it is when you're, open road driving, it's fantastic. But if you're doing lots of town driving, short trips, lots of stop-start stuff, that's where these absolutely excel, I have to say. Because if imagine now I was sort of stuck in traffic, coming to a stop now, in modern conventional automatics, you tend to get a bit of a clunk. You can't work out what gear it is. You pull away, and it's just so smooth. It's ridiculous and incredibly quiet. The car gives you 3 modes of driving. So basically, it'll start in what they call normal mode. But on this little button down here, if I twist it to the left, I'm now in eco mode, which is enhancing the hybrid system. It's utilising more of the battery. It makes the throttle pedal feel distinctly softer in its application. If you just press the button down, I'm back into normal, or if I twist it to the right, I'm then in sport mode, and then you can immediately feel the difference. The throttle response is much keener. Get up and go. I love the mode. Also in sport mode, you get this rev counter up here in place of the power meter, which you get in the other 2 modes, and it just gives it a really kind of sporty feel, but a real one, not just synthetic in terms of the way it feels. Otherwise, it really does pick up and go. I've done loads of videos with these, well, not loads, but plenty of videos with the IS300s, and I do constantly bemoan the frustration, I guess, of the normal road testers that get into these cars. Most people will drive as I am today. You put my foot down, pick up speed, go along, but you drive with a smooth throttle application. It's the best way to get best economy out of the car. It's smooth for the occupants. Most people will save their, the occasional hooligan moment for probably 1% of their driving. And yet every single road test I've ever seen on one of these by the same people who will pick up on the fact that because it's a CVT gearbox, which is brilliant, which gives it its smoothness, if I put my foot down now, it picks up the revs, and you kind of catch up with the revs. But you don't keep shove your foot down for 10 seconds at a time. The only time you'll notice it, slip road on a motorway, overtaking a car occasionally. But for 99% of the time, it's infinitely better than anything else. But it works brilliantly. So ignore all the garbage you come out with. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There are, by the way, no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge just under 1/2, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these cars. Steering on the car, first and foremost, again, just so tight on the road. The track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations, right up to the legal limit here. But it's a lovely power steering system. It's well weighted. It's very precise and accurate. It's not nervous. The inputs are smooth. It works beautifully with the chassis of the car. So the transitions and change of directions are really nicely done. They're not too sharp. They're not dull and slow. They're absolutely they're really developed it very nicely. And of course, the fact that it's rear-wheel drive helps the fact that, you know, you've got no drive shafts polluting the front wheels, so you know you get a really lovely feel when you're turning the wheel of you know, the car is not being kind of pushed on, or you know, the drive shafts are kind of twisting on the steering wheel at all. Absolutely brilliant. And then the chassis itself, first thing you're struck by is actually it's a very compliant, beautifully damped ride. But when you do go through corners, the car sits absolutely flat. You turn in, it's got the feeling that it's got, you know, tons of grip, it really has. But the body control, the setup, the balance is beautifully done. It really is a gorgeous car to drive. There are also, by the way, absolutely no rattles or clunks coming from the suspension at all, not that you'd expect there to be. Brakes, by the way, oops, sorry, just going to hold on to a couple of things, make sure, but you hit the brake pedal, really nice solid brake pedal on the car, powerful, no pulsing, no vibrations coming back to the pedal at all. The car will, by the way, tomorrow we go for an independent MOT, so these things will be checked anyway, but I'm not anticipating them finding anything. It just feels ridiculously, you know, almost as new to drive. I hate saying that new, because it's such a cliche. And then finally, coming inside the car, I mean, first of all, you're greeted by Lexus build quality, which is in reality better than anybody's. It's beautifully built. But it's a really special place to sit and drive a car, and that's rare in this day and age, where most cars, they just conform to the usual kind of, you know, everything's the same, it's just slightly different. This, they've tried to be different, but in a functional way where it works brilliantly, but it looks fantastic. You've got the sat-nav up there working perfectly, of course. You've got this beautiful detail, sort of like a piano black finish on the switch gear. Everything's got a lovely tactile finish to it, or feel to it rather. Beautifully assembled and put together switch gear on the car. Mark Levinson stereo is extraordinary, still in this day and age. Sound reproduction is amazing. So, also helped by the fact that they're such quiet cars on the move. Very quiet indeed. You've got heated and cooled seats, or, you know, ventilated seats, all working exactly as they should. And then down here, got just a beautifully detailed, that's the best way, because you sit in the car, you feel really at one with it. You feel as though you're kind of surrounded in a good way by the controls. Everything's fingertip away. Even the mouse, which I generally hate in cars, works really nicely because it's very nicely damped, it's not overly sensitive. And then you've got this wonderful display in front because it's minimalist. In the mode I'm in now, I've got a rev counter flanked by temperature and fuel gauges, minimal information. Should I need any more information, I just press a button there, that whirs to the side with the most amazing sound. It is like a Star Trek door opening and shutting. It sounds brilliant. But then you've got more information on the left if you want it, but you can hide it away by pressing that button, and it's mesmerising to look at it. It's absolutely incredible. And then you've got this beautiful leather steering wheel with the red stitching, very sporty looking, looks and feels absolutely like new to hold. It's just a very special, beautifully built interior that makes you feel good when you get in and out of the car on a daily basis. It really does. It's why they're so sought after. They really are. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is, you know, it's very brief. It's just to show the car operating. But actually to sort of feedback on any issues that might arise as I'm driving the car, there's nothing at all, as you'd expected, obviously, given the mileage of the vehicle. It drives absolutely beautifully. So that, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.